So you have to talk louder.
I will talk louder.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's all right, because you're saying that you're hearing. So you've got no hearing in your left ear, is that right?
Yes.
And so you can only hear from your right.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I can hear from both because I needed hearing aids anyway. This is what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
But I've got these special ones. This one's got a hearing aid, but it's also got a transmitter which through Bluetooth transmits to this one. So I can hear a bit better than anything. I can locate where noises come from because I often have no idea whether something's from behind me or from over there or over there. I just can't locate because I'm out of balance.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've lost my balance as well.
It comes from the hearing, doesn't it?
Yes,
the balance.
Yes, it's a vestibular nerve that runs from the eardrum to the brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay. Well, speaking of that, yeah. Well, obviously, I heard about your situation, your life through my mum.
Right.
She was part of the Rotary. Was at knitting, doing blankets. She did a blanket for you.
Right.
She did a blanket for you.
Yes.
Was that right?
Yes. Her knitting. Crochet.
The crochet.
Yeah. That's been fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, looking
Lovely.
after you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she mentioned about your situation. Well, and then when my mum noticed I was doing a podcast, my mum mentioned, how you have what stage that brain cancer, was that right?
Yeah, that's
stage
what I
4.
have, yeah. Well, it's secondary.
Secondary.
I started with lung cancer. Yeah.
Really? And how long ago was that?
Well, 2012, I had to have a chest X-ray because I had some sort of bug that went there because I'm asthmatic as well.
Yeah.
And there was a, suspicious-looking small shadow in my right lung. And so I got sent to a respiratory specialist. And then I had a whole lot of scans, like you have CT scans and PET scans and things, and that looked like it was just a scar tissue or something. That was 2012, and then I'd have X-rays every 6 months with through this specialist, and 2014 it looked like it had got bigger, so I had to go and a whole lot more medical stuff. Scans and all sorts of things like that, and they decided it was cancer at this point, and so the way they treat that one is it was in the top lobe, they remove the lobe, so you end up with just 2 lobes on that side, and you only have 2 on this side because your heart's under there. So I had that, and then just kept having, every 6 months I'd have an X-ray just to see how everything was going, and everything was going fine until 2018. And then they found a suspicious-looking lump. I think it was the bottom lobe on my left side. So I went through the same thing, surgery, kept going to the same specialist. All was fine until 2022 when they discovered another, suspicious, as they say, looking thing in my right lung again. And so I got sent to an oncologist this time because, there's no more surgery. I wouldn't be able to sort of survive with just, 2 lobes left. So I started every 3 weeks I had to have chemo and immunotherapy, like bags of stuff, radioactive stuff, because it was in black.
Really?
And that was at Westmead Hospital. the first, they really, piled it on the first couple of months. And the thing is, I know all cancers are different, but for me it wasn't. I had no symptoms. There was nothing that was wrong with me, apart from these drugs that they give you, which are, poison. That's what makes you sick. So, I had, I was on 6 months of a pretty strong chemo drug that's named so long I can't remember it. They've all got long names, and immunotherapy, and everything was looking fine, and then I hang on, I'm just going to try and remember which year it was. Right. So that was 2022. Yeah, so I had about 12 months of, this treatment that would write me off for a week, and then I'd have a week of sort of getting a bit better and getting a bit better. So my whole life just went out the window because I used to do yoga with Swami Saraswati.
Yeah. So you're highly into yoga.
This is sort of how I've come through your mum too, through the chair yoga.
Oh, the chair yoga, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can do now. I can't get off the floor if I get on the floor.
That's right. So that's how you met Mum, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, for the chair yoga.
Facebook.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
It's only 10 minutes away from where I live.
So you continue the yoga?
So, I try to, but I can't turn myself into a pretzel anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing yoga since I was in my early 20s.
Really?
Because I discovered Swami Saraswati through the TV shows she used to have.
So that's what you do at Swami's, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well...
You used to?
Well, back then, she had a couple of books and she had a TV show. If you had... I used to work for myself, so I could... Because it was in the morning, I think 10 o'clock or something, so I could just stop working and do yoga for an hour with Swami and then, get back to work. So I've, enjoyed that. But I also did it when I was a little bit younger through a physiotherapist who, because of my asthma, sort of teaching you how to breathe.
So, so it's helped you a lot through your life.
Yes, especially more recently when I've had to have some of the scans and things I've had to have. You've had to lie in a tunnel, like that.
Oh, yeah,
not
people get
move
claustrophobic
for an hour.
I've heard people freak out.
Yeah.
They got to leave. Come back another day.
Well, if you can sort of,
just take it as relaxing.
The time will go.
Switch off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's the beauty of,
a bit of solitude.
Having that in my background.
Yeah.
Then getting back to my health.
Yep.
Look, before that, I was really fit. Before this all started in 2022, I was really fit for my age.
Well, how old are you now?
I'm about to turn 75.
Wow.
I'll be 75 in a week and a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I did yoga.
Yeah.
I painted with Joe, who's here, a group of women. Get together every second Monday and paint.
Yeah, that's cool.
We were originally under a lovely man, but he retired, so we just sort of kept our group going. Yeah. And I joined a ukulele club out at Richmond. And
ukulele?
Yep, because I've always played guitar.
Oh, really?
So it was just tiny, a bit different. Got a lot of things done, and then suddenly it was medical because they ask you, have you got high blood pressure? If you're on this, you're on that, you're on heart stuff, and I'd be no. All I ever have is the odd puff of Ventolin, from asthma.
Yeah.
But was June last year. My daughter and I went to Melbourne to see a fantastic play called Harry Potter and the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Okay.
And it
nice
was
theatre.
only in Melbourne.
Yep.
And it had been going for a couple of years. It got a bit messed up by COVID. And this was actually a birthday present from my daughter and her family. Sorry, Christmas present for 2019, right? Mm-hmm. So we were going to go to Melbourne in 2020, April 2020. And, of course, COVID appeared and nobody could go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, and it was closing in June. This is June 2023 last year. So we finally, I said, look, we've got to get there, because we wanted to see this play. And so we went to Melbourne, saw the play, stayed in a lovely hotel, had a great time. And I woke up very early in the morning after the play, and I sort of had this feeling, down my sort of strange feeling on the left side of my head. And I got up to go to the loo and actually fell over. My left side wasn't working very well. So I woke my daughter up and I said, look, I don't think I'm too good. And through all these treatments, there's a nurse that I can call, like in business hours, if there's a problem. So I had to wait till 8 o'clock, and I rang the nurse and she said, you've got to go to the hospital straight away. So I experienced a Melbourne hospital.
Oh, what was that like?
Which was actually better than this.
What's the difference? Were they more professional?
Sorry,
more professional, or what is it?
More technologically.
Oh, really?
What had happened, I'd actually left my wallet in the hotel.
Yeah.
So I didn't have my Medicare card on me. But I've got it on my phone. So I didn't, because the first thing they want to see is your Medicare card. And I just gave them a name, an address and a few vitals, and, they pulled me up.
Well done.
Yeah, and they put a thing on that when I finally got, put into a bed or onto a bed, there was a screen with all my statistics and
technology now.
whether I was about to see the doctor or, whatever. Like it was amazing.
All there.
Yeah, like poor old Westmead.
Yeah.
Which still asks for faxes.
Oh, really?
When I've had to get a referral, re-referral from my GP, fax. Well, she emailed it. They don't get emails. They get lost in their system. So I actually get a hard copy now.
Yeah, we can never be a hard copy. Yeah. Old school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In an envelope. And
that's
everything
right.
else.
Everything's digital now. Yeah, you just say your name.
I don't know why poor old Westmead hasn't sort of,
upgraded.
Yeah, but they've spent a lot of money. There's always building happening there. So
they're always building. It's true.
Yeah.
They're always adding on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're extending.
Well, I remember before it wasn't there.
Well,
because I go back to Gough Whitlam days and.
Oh, really?
When because we didn't have a proper hospital in the Sydney's West.
What year was this?
Well, when Gough was elected, 1972.
Oh gosh, that's before. It's like before my time.
Yeah.
1972. Okay, so there's no hospital.
No.
Where'd you go?
And Mount Druitt wasn't there. Okay. Blacktown was there, but it was just like a little country hick hospital.
There was no Hawkesbury?
No. Oh, Hawkesbury was there, but it's still a tiny little...
Yeah, it is tiny.
You wouldn't sort of... you'd be sent somewhere else for scans and things and whatever. Mm. But...
I Nothing big enough. Nothing that big.
And the same with Western Sydney University. He put that, same thing, because we just had New South Wales Uni and Sydney Uni.
Yeah.
And Macquarie had just started, but, he put, just used government land that had been orphanages and boys' homes and horrible things like that. Yeah.
Whereabouts did you live back then?
Sorry?
Where did you live back then?
Back then, I actually lived behind Macquarie Uni then, but I grew up on the Northern Beaches.
Oh, Northern Beaches.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Near Manly.
Oh, very
Balgowlah
nice.
Heights.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
They got a new hospital out there, don't they? I think
They've just
that
got
big one.
that
Yeah.
big one.
Big
Princess
fancy one.
Forest. Yeah, they knocked a high
It's
school
huge.
down. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they also closed Mona Vale Hospital down, which was a bit silly at the same time.
So you're a Northern Beaches girl.
Yes, that's why my skin's so big.
The one the sunbaking.
Because I was very blonde. I used to have blonde hair, real blonde hair, not fake blonde hair, and very, very fair skin.
Yeah.
So, and I used to try and get a tan like all my friends, and it didn't work. I'd just get sunburned.
Well, did you put sunscreen on back then?
That wasn't around then. What we did was put coconut oil so that we
Didn't they make it worse? They probably made it worse. Well, everyone's getting skin cancers burnt off now.
Yeah.
You didn't know, did you?
Cataracts.
Cataracts, yeah.
Because
From
sun.
It is, actually.
I've had both mine done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got to wear your sunglasses and, I guess, your sunscreen without all the bad chemicals.
It just wasn't around.
Yeah.
Zinc cream was all you did, and you
zinc.
just put it on your face, on your nose.
Yeah.
That was
I got
it.
badly burnt when I was younger.
Yeah.
A few blisters.
Yeah.
It stays there. It's good to cover up, especially me.
Yes.
I got nothing
Well, I
to
know what
protect.
that's like now.
Yeah, yeah. How does it feel?
Well, mine's growing back just a little bit now. I'm getting it back now.
Okay.
But
Mine isn't.
no.
No.
Well, I don't know how much mine will grow. But getting back to what, Melbourne Hospital.
Yep.
They did a CT scan, and what they discovered, I thought I'd had a stroke. That's what it felt like to me.
Whole left side.
Because and also my hearing had gone a bit in this ear, and I just had my hearing aids tweaked, so I was a bit, concerned about that. They did a CT scan, and that's when they discovered I had lesions in my brain. So we got back home. I had an appointment. I actually had an appointment with my oncologist the next day anyway, on the Monday. This was like a Saturday when that happened. So, went to see him, and also the, what do they call it? Gee, hang on, I've just got a mental blank.
That's all right.
Radiation oncologist, Harriet. That's right, I got to see Harriet. And they told me what they were going to do was radiation therapy targeted to, where these lesions were. I think I had 5 of those. But the worst thing about that was you can't move, like I did have a bit of radiation therapy because I had problems with my hip bones before, but you've just got to lie still again. But when it's your head, you can't move because otherwise they'll end up zapping something.
Do you still lie down, the radiation? Are you lying down?
Yeah. What happens is they make a mask. Mm-hmm. Half of it's the back of your head. They've got this stuff, plasticky stuff, that's got little perforations in it, and they heat it, and then there's about 4 people furiously press it, right, so your nose is like that, right, everything, eyes.
So uncomfortable. Sounds uncomfortable.
That is an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocking.
For how long?
Well, they make the mask,
Yeah.
and then the radiation treatments were like 15 to 20 minutes each. And again, and what happens, so, you lie on a table and you are actually bolted. Like this mask gets put on and it's, I can't explain it, it's just horrible. It's just tight, everything, lips, everything. And then you're bolted. The mask is bolted to the table so you can't move your head.
It's bolted. Jeez.
Yes.
It's like Silence of the Lambs, isn't it?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people can't cope with it. A lot of people have got to be knocked out.
Yeah.
But again, I thought, well, 15 minutes and you can pick your own music. They say, what sort of music do you want? But the only thing is there's noises, there's and beep, beep,
At least you get a choice of music.
Classical.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Because you can't go wrong with it.
No, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
I think what was the last song? Because it'd be the same tape or whatever they had, play this. The last song was Thus Spake Zarathustra. Do you know that from 2001? Well, I mean, it's not, I've forgotten the composer, but it's a really bong, 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 noisy thing. But that
intense.
was good. When I'd hear that, I'd know it was nearly over.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I had 5 of those.
Yeah.
And in between all this, you have these MRIs, and they're another, when it's your head, they're another unpleasant experience. Not as bad as a mask. Yeah. But, you have a sort of mask over you, but it's not tight, it's just so you can't move your head. But the noise is like, they put earplugs in your ears because the noise is like having a jackhammer in your head, sort of, anyway. That's another probably 20 minutes. So MRI after that was showing good results. And then I lost hearing in that ear. And the way I've sort of worked it out was when you put a hearing aid in and turn it on, it lets you know it's connected. Like these old ones I had went beep, beep, beep. So I know this one would be right, this one nothing. So I thought, maybe there's something wrong. But then I realised I just, like if you rub your ear, you can feel that.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing, just
so
nothing.
did that happen after the treatment?
After the treatment.
So you
because
reckon
they also said I had this other thing called a vestibular schwannoma. It's funny how you learn these words. On this nerve that goes from the eardrum to the brain, the vestibular nerve, and they said this schwannoma, like they don't grow very fast, and they just leave them because it'll knock the hearing out if they radiate them. But I ended up that was a lesion, that's why I lost hearing, and that's when my balance went and a few other things unpleasant, sort of
all from that.
Yeah. But I also lost, they forgot to tell me with the radiation, the first lot of radiation I had, that I'd lose some of my hair. Now it was down a bit, I had hair down to here.
I saw your picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, okay, you had a good old sticky beak.
Yeah, I just thought, I've got to see what you look like, I've just heard about you.
Yeah.
No, it's a nice photo.
It's good.
It showed how long your
that
hair
was my hair.
Yeah.
But what happened was I was staying with my daughter through all this because it also knocks you out, the radiation. You just after it, I could use a few swear words, but
you can if you want.
You buggered.
You've got to let it out somehow.
Yeah. Like it just writes you off, and you're tired, and
you can't be bothered.
Trying to. I mean, she's been fantastic. And my sons have too, but girls are better at doing stuff like that. So because she just worked from home and, she just didn't even take time off work. But Now I've lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
Hang on.
You're staying.
That's right. I think I went home. Yeah, I must have gone home just after that first lot of radiation. I'm, sort of brushing my hair one day and I'm sort of looking.
Oh,
and
the whole lot.
There's just all this hair falling out, on the floor. But I mean, it's long hair. It was.
So you didn't cut it beforehand? You didn't prepare?
They didn't tell me.
They didn't tell you?
Because I ended up with a patch like Friar Tuck.
Oh.
Out of, like
baboon's bum, like a baboon's bum. Yeah, that's what they call it,
yeah.
Yeah. Straight on,
so the next time I saw the radiation specialist, I said, I've lost hair. And she said, oh, didn't we tell you you'd lose hair? No.
Oh, gosh, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
all right.
It actually started at by Christmas. Yeah, I just wore a thing like this over it, because it looked a bit funny having a bald patch. And then, so that was okay.
That's when you noticed when it started kicking in. The radiation. Well, you started losing your hair.
Yeah. That from about 10 days after the first
one.
First one. So everything, I had to have another MRI, I think in January, and that was okay. And then another MRI, must have been May, June this year. Oh, the other thing too, with the first lot of radiation, I was told I wasn't allowed to drive, which was weird.
After the first one?
That was after the first one. And every time I'd see them, I'd ask, can I drive yet? No, you can't. You've got to wait 6 months.
What was that? Balance?
Well, because you could have a seizure.
Yeah, okay.
And then you're not insured at all because of a pre-existing condition and all sorts of things. So, I get chauffeured everywhere. I must admit a couple of times I did drive down the road just to get milk or bread or something.
I'll do it too, of course. Why not?
Yes.
It's not illegal. You still get your licence.
Well, I still had a licence.
But you're right.
So, yeah, that was weird. And then I've lost track of the
That's all right.
time. It must have been about May. I had an MRI and that showed, or maybe it was June, that showed that I had more lesions. So they said, we're going to give you more radiation, this time of the whole brain. And I had to take these tablets because, it could knock out a few memory things and stuff. Had to take them supposedly for 6 months. Don't have to now. So this time it was another mask, my third mask.
Oh, wow.
Because they're all different.
Back in the chair.
This time it was 10 sessions.
10 sessions of 20 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. So
oh, gosh.
They do 3 days a week. They do it like that. So you weren't 5 days a week. They're very early in the morning, like 8 o'clock sort of times and stuff like that, which was, again, I had to stay with my daughter because she lives quite close. She lives at North Rocks, so she's only, How
did you sleep that night before?
Oh.
Like get up that early for radiation?
Okay.
Like that's
I think that was okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that was horrible. And so I knew, right, in advance I would lose my hair. That's right, she said, you'll lose all your hair. I thought, okay, just head hair. And my eyebrows went a bit funny. Now they look like John Howard's. But it's another age thing, I think. But she... Yeah, so I said to my daughter, right, if I'm going to lose my hair, there's nothing worse than, because it was still long, like I'd be washing it and it'd all be tangled up and, I said, I'm going to get it cut. So went to my lovely hairdresser who knew my story because Joe goes to her too and she told her my story. So she didn't charge me. So we went from having hair to a bob.
Yeah.
And which was weird because I hadn't had short hair since I was started high school and made my mother cut my plaits off.
Oh, really?
Because I wanted to look old. So
That's a long time.
yeah, funny. So sure enough, the radiation treatment, 10 days into it, actually it was probably even less. I woke up one morning and I just sort of ran my hair, whoops, I had a handful of it. So, and it was over about 3 days, like it was falling out. If I sat somewhere, and got up, even though it was short, it'd be hair everywhere, hair all over the back of my, whatever I was wearing, wherever I was sitting. So I said to my daughters, have you got any clippers?
Going for the shave.
So we did number 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty easy washing your hair, which
It's
you
the
could,
best.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
zero.
Yeah.
I'm not... Yeah, hair's overrated.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I went to a function on Sunday, which it goes back to my sort of uni years when I went to New South Wales Uni, and we a group of us just used to stop off at Oxford Street. This was before it became a gay street.
Yeah.
But there were lots of wine bars and good music.
Really?
So Friday nights we'd often do one of the bars, before we went home. And about 10 years ago, I think, one of the other people involved, started a reunion of the bands and the musicians who played and people who went there and danced and stuff like that. So I went to that on Sunday, and I'm sure there were people who didn't recognise me because I just always had long blonde hair.
Yeah.
So
Was that good going back to that?
yes,
Scene?
yeah, it was, yeah.
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 Would have been different. And what year was that those bars? What year was that?
That would have been, late 60s, early 70s. Yeah. Yeah, it
I love to experience the 60s and 70s.
was good.
Yeah.
I saw the Beatles.
Oh, did you see the Beatles?
I saw the Beatles.
Where? When they came here?
Yeah. They only came here once, yeah.
Were you one of those screaming girls?
No, I didn't scream.
No.
Because if you didn't scream, you heard them.
Oh.
Me and my friend Sue, Sue's dad had bought tickets
Yeah.
for us.
That's cool.
We danced,
Yeah.
but we didn't scream.
That's excellent.
And you heard them, yeah.
Wow. So you actually saw them.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a story to tell.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's when yeah, I just love to go back to those
It's
days.
1964, that was.
Yeah, 64.
I was 14 and a half, yeah.
Yeah, because I always think what years would you go back to experience if it was like if I could do that again?
Yeah,
If I could experience a
well, that was just a breath of fresh air. Like we didn't get... The sort of music we got was toned down. Like
it was music.
England, Cliff Richard, doing ballady stuff. We didn't get any of the black music from America.
Yeah,
we didn't get it.
Yep.
And they were just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
Suddenly this music, I mean, everybody...
it's changed now.
Crazy, It was great music. And then there were a lot of really good English bands, whereas before it had all been American.
Yeah.
Like like Bobby Rydell and, just people who sang ballads and weren't all that interesting.
Like music.
Yeah.
Now you put on the radio and they're singing about, who was it? There's a girl singer singing about guessing her underpants, her knickers.
Sorry.
They were to guess the colour of her knickers. That's the music now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the lyrics.
I don't listen to it. I think it's a bit sad.
It's very sad.
Because the radio was, that was all we had.
Yeah.
And records.
Yeah.
Like LPs.
Yeah.
Vinyl.
I remember records.
Right.
I've been around when they brought the CD player out.
Right. Yeah.
We used to play records when we were younger. My parents had records, and then they brought the CD player.
Yeah.
And it was John Lennon, Imagine.
Right.
And Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right. Good on you.
Yeah. That was the first CDs.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
My first one was a Grateful Dead one.
Which was that?
Have you heard of the Grateful Dead?
No.
Oh, you have to look them up when we finish.
Yeah.
They were a big American band and very psychedelic and...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming back to, I reckon. Bit of psychedelic.
Yeah, I think so. But I think the demise of the radio, I've still got one in my car. I've got an old car, so, but that's how we heard the music,
That's all you had.
You had disc jockeys and, they were,
Disc jockeys, like DJs, yeah.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah,
but
it's all
just, played music. Like, I think there was 2SM and 2UW with the two big pop or rock and roll, what do you call it?
Rock and
radio
roll.
stations,
Yeah.
And they were AM.
Yeah, AM.
Yeah.
And you had no choice, wasn't it?
That's what it was.
That was what it was.
That's what it was.
You got,
and then cassettes came out probably late 60s, maybe a little bit earlier, I think.
Yeah.
So, but you had to have a cassette player, obviously, to play them. And they stretched and they got tangled up.
I remember that. I remember Walkmans.
Yeah.
And you recorded. I remember having recordings.
Yeah.
I used to record. That was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you lose them because they do get tangled and it's gone.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
saved.
Changed a lot. But I must admit, I did get rid of all my vinyl because every time you play a vinyl, or back then, you wear a bit of it out, and you have to have the stylus, you have to keep all the needle and all the styles and all that stuff in good nick because you're not picking everything up off, from the record. And we were all too poor to, keep everything, in top order. And when I started buying CDs, especially the Beatles, I heard stuff in there I'd never heard before. You'd hear them actually talking, and you'd hear hand claps and things. But, before it was just more a fuzz of sound and suddenly you can sort of hear instruments. So I'm not pro vinyl. I'm pro CD. Although I've just got rid of them all because
the vinyls or the CDs?
The CDs.
Yeah, well, then now we're at the stage you don't need CDs.
No, because I've got all my music on my computer and I've got it on my phone.
Yeah, now people just go on Spotify.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, it's amazing. That's like how you can access things, how many options we've got now too.
Yes, yeah.
It's a changed time, isn't it?
It sure is. There's too many options, I think, in some things.
Yeah. And
that reminds me, like my father used to say, he lived to be 92, 93, something. He'd say, oh, you can live too long, and I sort of, I feel like I'm in that stage because there's things that I'd rather, were back where they were rather than how they are now. Yeah. I think that whole music scene, and the way they killed it, people complain, so they have to shut the pub music down and stuff. And I mean, that's where we used to go. That was
Community, your gathering.
amusement. You know, find
Well, the entertainment.
Yeah.
Everyone's stuck at home now, really. Get everything.
yeah,
They don't go out. So Europe's like that, very social. You know,
Yeah.
they socialise at night.
yeah,
They have to go to their bars. Spain, Italy,
yeah.
especially Spain.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
we're
heard
pretty
that.
boring here.
yeah,
We go home after days of slavery and go home to
yeah.
our high mortgage house and watch TV and
yeah.
and
Well, even that's
and
changed
have whatever
too.
we need. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like choices. I grew up with one meal to eat.
Yeah,
You know, that was it.
yeah,
You know, well, my grandparents, I don't know, they had to share stuff because of the war.
yeah, yeah,
It makes you tough, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. Well,
do you reckon that-
because I was born in 1949, so I'm one of those despised baby boomers. But we had really there were incredible restrictions after the war, you know, because it took a while for manufacturing to sort of, you know, because they're making arms and stuff, you know, to making other stuff. All our clothes were handed down. Like I'm one of 5 children. I'm the middle, 2 older sisters.
You're the middle.
Sorry?
You're the middle child, eh?
Yeah, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Says hated a little. Keeps the peace, which is weird.
In a weird way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it's a weird way.
Because I'm the only one who gets on with everybody. But you have to work on it,
You do have to work on it.
you know.
You got to work on everything.
You wouldn't, probably shouldn't say this, but
It's up to you.
1.5 sisters, I wouldn't know if I wasn't related to them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that happens.
Another sister, she lives in UK though, which is very inconvenient. And
Where-
my brother, my only brother, you know,
Yeah.
kept it fine with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the thing, family. This is why I like.
yeah.
Yeah, well, they say you can love them, but you don't have to like them.
No, no. But then, you know, yeah. Children are good though.
Children are the best.
Yeah,
That's what I basically look towards now, mainly.
Yeah.
Well, because this is why I'm doing this sort of thing too.
yeah,
It's like a bit worried about the young generation.
yeah,
You know, like your morals, your core values, the way you were brought up, baby boomers, I guess.
yeah,
And you see, it's doing a bit of a turnaround now, and
yeah,
I find they they don't have that sort of those morals like the old
yeah.
days.
I agree with that. Yeah,
It's quite sad.
there's selfishness, and I think
See it. There's too many options just given,
Yes,
and it is a selfish world. Everyone's selfish. It's like, what can I get, or what can you offer me?
yeah, yeah,
What can I get from you?
yeah,
That's all it is. No one's just doing anything together to survive, to enjoy growth, and
no,
just take.
yeah,
Looking at other people, especially social media's done that too.
yeah. Well, I think that's been. I mean, I use it, but it's damaging.
It is. Well, we use it. This is what we use.
Yeah.
We need, but this is why the only way to get a message there is to jump in there with everyone, and you can't complain on the streets anymore. No one cares. They're looking at their phones.
Well, we did.
How can I? Yeah, well,
Vietnam.
how do you know through that newspapers? All right,
Yeah,
news.
TV.
Yeah. Well,
Every night on telly, it'd be a week late. It'd be from America because it had to be filmed, processed, sent to America, processed, and then we got it back. So it was a week after things in Vietnam, but there was conscription.
Yeah. Well, look. Okay.
So, you know, I had friends who had to go to Vietnam, you know, and some of them it ruined them, you know, and not just the war thing, but things
Afterwards?
like the chemicals they use.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's ruined generations.
Do you reckon that's happening now? Again?
Sorry,
Do you reckon it's happening now again?
yeah. Yeah.
I believe so.
I don't understand war.
This one's a bit different. This
Yeah.
is like a psychological
Yes.
war.
Well, there's
on the
two
younger-
of them. There's the Ukraine, you know, Putin, and
Yeah.
there's
And the guy and the
Netanyahu.
Israel and all them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Well, what's really interesting, I don't know if you know this magazine. It's still around, the National Geographic.
What's a magazine?
Yeah, exactly.
But I know National. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
well, we used to get that. My dad used to subscribe to it. And again, we got it 3 months later because it used to come by ship from America. But what was amazing, and it was only that big, it had colour photos in it, which were unusual.
Yeah.
This is in the 1960s.
Wow.
And I remember reading an article, an interview with a young man, a Palestinian young man who was the same age as me. I think I was about 16. And he'd been in a, what do you call it? Like not imprisoned.
A concentration camp?
Concentration camp. His entire life.
Whole life?
His entire life, because it was 1948, 1949.
In Palestine?
Yep. And so I was about 16 when I read this, and I remember, he'd been living behind a cage, his entire life. And what they used to do, the Palestinians, the only weapons they had were stones. The kids, the boys, the teen boys, the angry boys, they used to throw stones, but they'd get shot. So
what was the point?
Yeah.
That's all they had?
That's all they had.
For protection?
Yep.
So what was the stones at? Who was that? Israel, was it?
Yeah, 2 Israelis.
So back then?
Because they've just kept pushing the border,
Do you so with this war, not to get all political, but
you can, I know, but you can understand why
fun.
hummus and things like that have happened.
Because of course
you make people
100%.
angry as children, and they're going to carry that.
Well, you kill their fathers and uncles and mums and aunties and sisters.
Yep.
They're going to have payback. That's.
I mean, it's all about anger that goes back, 70. Well, probably goes back longer, but 75 years. But the people handling it are doing it the wrong way.
It's horrible. Well, they even though they're saying they're bombing the terrorists amongst civilians, is like.
Yeah. Well,
Is that what we live for? Is that what we do?
No.
But is it to protect? I get both sides in a way.
Yep. Yes, I do too.
But
I think it's gone too far.
It's gone too far. But
both sides.
I think. Well, you got the election coming up. Once that happens, that will decide a lot.
Well, who knows?
Well, I think America's in a civil war, no matter what.
Sorry,
America, there's civil war.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and that will, that might kickstart a bit of a World War III. People aren't, financially, I think we're going to suffer for it.
Yeah, we do.
And if Taiwan gets threatened by China, then we get involved as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But China own us, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's interesting.
Actually, I went to China in 2013. I'm glad I did, because we couldn't do now what we did, especially like after the COVID thing and stuff. And
it's nice, China. Whereabouts in China did you?
Well, I met my sister who lives in UK and her husband, because they'd been to a wedding in Japan.
Yeah.
And because what we do, because it's a long way and expensive. If they come, part of the way, I'll meet them somewhere. So we sort of tossed up where to meet. And I said, how about China? Because we couldn't do it for years and years and years and years, because of Chairman Mao and communism and everything, and it was virtually closed off. So we went to Beijing. I think we spent 5 days there. Caught a train up and did the Great Wall. Spent a few hours climbing that, and it sure is climbing in some places. Then we caught a train to down south, what used to be the southern capital of China, a place called Guilin, which has beautiful scenery. It's sort of hard to explain. It's karst country, limestone country. There's sort of incredible mountains and things. So we spent about 4 days in Guilin, and saw some interest, very little English, and we were pointed at, because we were very obviously not Chinese. Like people would point at us. Even when we were in the train, we'd pull in the station and, we'd be sort of looking out the window and people would be pointing at us, foreigners.
Yeah.
And then from McGlynn we caught I think it was about a 3-hour boat trip down the Lee River, it's called, to this little place called Yangshao, where we spent another 5 days. And that was a village, like they grew rice and had well, they don't have many animals. Working animals is all they have, because you've got to feed animals. They grew crops and things, and I think it were a couple of Swiss guys or something had sort of leased part of this village and turned it into a hotel, but they're all different buildings and rooms and stuff. Everything was different in it. It was really nice. So the staff stayed there. I think they were on 2-week shifts, so you got to know the staff really well, which was probably only about half a dozen people. So that was it.
Yeah. And you said you went to Japan too, did you?
No, I haven't been to Japan.
That'd be nice to Japan.
There's still places I'd love to go to, but my travel days are finished.
Yeah.
Well, because that I should I'll go back to my boring health stuff. The last MRI I had,
We did your 10 sessions, you were saying.
They said to me, we're stopping all treatment. So, because I was still having the immunotherapy treatment. They said stopping all treatment because the big 10 sessions of radiation I had to my brain didn't work, as they say.
So you went all that through that and didn't work?
Yeah. Well, it probably would have been, because I did say, what if I don't have it, when they said, you want to do your whole brain. I said, well, what happens if I don't go ahead with it? And she said, you'll probably have seizures and months of seizures and stuff. So we thought, okay, we'll go ahead with it. But it didn't work. Had an MRI. It showed more lesions, and so stopped all treatment, and I'm just under a palliative care doctor now. I have been actually since February. I have a telehealth with her once every 2 weeks with a district nurse comes to me, and we do a telehealth. But they told me, that I had months. So I said, okay. Well, first up when they said that, I thought, I don't really want to know how many.
Yeah.
And so the second time I said, okay, months, what are you talking about? 1, 3, 6, 12?
Yeah.
She said, we don't know. And she said, we doubt you'll make it. I said, well, I make my 75th birthday. When's that? End of October? Probably not. But I think I will.
I think you will.
But then they said, you won't make Christmas, but I think I will.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And I think my advantage was because I came into this fit, not with a whole lot of other things wrong with me that a lot of other 75-year-olds have got, or even younger.
Yeah, and like you saying that you're going to push it as far. It's all here too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what we did, we decided, because I've, had to start talking about things like funerals and stuff like that, and what to do with me when I'm gone. So, we've sort of discussed all that with the family. And we decided to have a living wake, which we did two Sundays back.
What was that like?
That was great.
That's like, this is why when Mum mentioned to me that you did that, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
To sort of, I know maybe religious wise might think differently, I guess, but
Well, it's better to be there and hear what people say.
and like it wasn't, you know, you're not the ones that don't want to be there to turn
No.
up, right? It's like, well, we just but
Well, I just let we just sent out invites, you know, through social media. Actually, a couple of people I had to ring up.
what was that like? Can you please come to my wake? Like how do you approach? Like,
Well, I told them, you know, what my prognosis was, you know, that I'd have limited time on this planet, and that, you know, we were going to celebrate by having a living wake. So we had the old Vicar of Wakefield pub at Dural.
oh yeah, that's
hired
nice.
a room, yeah.
Yeah, that's not at the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And
how many who turned up?
well, not quite 60.
Yeah.
We had four cases of COVID, had to cancel. Another couple had rotten colds and didn't want to spread them, which we were pleased about.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
One of my friends had a fall, which was unfortunate, that morning. So, yeah, we had roughly, I think, 8, 9, 10 cancellations. So
How are your kids?
just my, well, as in little kids.
Well, yeah, your children.
Well,
know.
just
How do
my
they handle it?
grandson. I have one grandson.
You have a grandson?
But yeah, my kids. I've got 4 kids.
Your 4 kids? Or 4 children, I say kids, but you know.
Sorry?
Still children to you. Your children.
Yeah.
How are they handling it?
Differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit hard.
It'd be very hard.
Yeah. It's not
There's
good.
nothing.
But, you know, I'm spending as much time as I can with them
Yeah.
and off doing things. And,
Just enjoy every moment you have,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest, isn't it? Is that how you look at, like, to get to a stage where you know, well, we're always worried to die. Everyone's
Yeah.
feared of death. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in a way, I'm not, but
yeah.
you're at a stage where you
Well,
have
we're
been
all going to,
we're all going to, and
Well,
I'm
I think
not
if
fearing
you know, if like in my case, because I know it's going to happen,
yeah,
that was the nicest thing to do, you know, and actually say goodbye to some people.
well, it's like a bit of a weird release, isn't it? Like it's a weird,
Yeah, yeah,
it's like because everyone's always wondering, you know, when your time.
yeah.
So it's sort
Well,
of
the only thing is, we accumulate too many possessions.
oh yes,
I mean, my house looks like a bomb hit at the moment because I'm getting rid of stuff, and I'm, you know, one of my boys is also cleaning up all his stuff, you know, so we've got to have a council clean up shortly. Yeah, you know,
So
and you've got to be ruthless, you know, because even you've got to decide whether this is going to mean something to anybody.
and you've probably held it for so long. That's the problem. You hold things for so long
Yeah.
that you don't want to throw them out because you've held them for 20 plus years, longer.
Yeah, longer than that.
Yeah, long probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because my mum had to clear up her parents with her siblings.
Yeah.
That was they moved to a nursing home, but just that clean out. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Having to do it yourself though.
yeah. Well, it's better than doing it for someone else because I had to do my parents.
Yeah.
And my father one day had just walked out of his study and never walked back in there, and he was really messy.
Oh wow. So you had to go through his things.
Yeah. Oh, heaps of it. Same with his workshop. He walked out one day and never walked back in.
Wow.
My mother was a bit different, but because he died before she did, but hers was still, you know, what do you do with it? I mean, I've got a lot of her stuff, which no one else seems. Well, the kids want bits and pieces, but none of my siblings want it. You know, so what do you do with it? Who knows?
Yeah, no, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is it, like but this is the thing, we do accumulate. We attach ourselves to things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well,
they mean
look, I've
nothing.
got stuff from, you know, when I was at uni,
Oh, wow.
you know.
Like a hoarder.
Well, no, not really. Well, I did architecture, so I've got a lot
Okay.
of graphic stuff and...
You did architecture.
Sorry?
You did architecture.
Yeah.
The days when you used the drawing board.
Yes.
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 I loved architecture. I did detailed drafting.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the drawing. I love on the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when computers, AutoCAD came in, it was just tap, tap, tap.
Yeah,
tap.
I know.
I
I mean, the
I didn't enjoy
lettering,
it.
you know, I like
Capital letters.
hand lettering and, you know,
Yeah.
because that all went with, you know,
technology.
it's all computerised.
Yeah, that took the love out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I think, who maybe it was Glenn Murcutt, an interview of him, and a lot of architects will still sit down with a drawing board.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, when I did extension of my house, I found a guy that does drawing.
Oh,
it was brilliant.
I'll tell you what, I've got a drawing board that's probably the
Of course,
size
they're like this, yeah.
Yeah.
All the big papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all computer now.
Yeah.
Just like your ID at the hospital, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
No paperwork.
No. Well, I mean, the paperwork thing's good, but, you know, as far as trees go and stuff.
Oh, it was global warming, right?
But, yeah, and global warming, yeah. Yes. Well, look, we were trying to, I mean, I suppose I could call myself an old hippie too. We were aware of the, well, global warming was being talked about, you know, in the late or probably mid-1960s, 1970s. And, you know, because they already had the graphs of how since the Industrial Revolution everything had gone up a little bit. And plastic was the other thing. You know, we despise plastic, you know, and I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. In our food too.
Sea. Yes, we reckon we're full of it. Yeah.
This is like, you know, obviously people with allergies now. I'm a celiac.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in food now. It's not going back to your parents, you know, you say they're cooking fresh.
Yes.
Now we don't.
Well, my mother used to tootle off to the local shops, you know, in walking distance every second day and buy what what we'd eat for the next 2 days.
Yep.
Because our fridges were, you know, pretty tiny and, you know, you didn't have freezers. And like the freezer was just for ice blocks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you walk down a local shop, get fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's all it lasts, but you get fruit now and it's all bruised inside just about. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing's really fresh anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they don't like, you know, the fact that it's all got to be the same size, you know.
like the chickens.
Yeah.
They're pumping.
Yeah.
Full of hormones.
With something, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the kids are huge.
Yeah. I know.
Probably. Kids are huge.
Yeah.
I see a 15, 18-year-old, they're taller than me, 6 foot plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened there? Am I getting smaller? Do you get smaller in age?
Yeah. Probably.
Start to shrink?
Shrink a bit, yeah. My mum did. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so what background? Whereabouts your parents from? Are they Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a pure Aussie.
Well, Dad's side, yeah, we've got 4 convicts. 2 of them were Irish rebels.
Yeah?
So they got sentenced to 7 years transportation for taking the oath of the United Irishmen. So that's where my McGlynn surname comes from. They were McGlynn's.
McGlynn.
Can't find out anything more about them because Irish records are a bit Irish. Because I've done all my genealogy.
Yeah.
Mum's side's more genteel, very English. Dad's side has got the Irish and a lot of the Scottish as well.
Okay.
And a little bit of English, yeah, as well too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we're
Irish English.
so I think I'm fifth generation Australian. Yeah.
Very nice. The old school. What What do you do these days anyway? Like apart from Mum was saying you get tired. Is that
Yeah,
right? You get tired as
no.
well?
Well, I retired.
You get,
What I ended up doing, I found it really hard when I had children to sort of continue the architecture thing, and my daughter danced, and I always sewed because I come from that era, like my era, mothers sewed, made everything, for the kids sort of thing. So there was a sewing machine there, so I learnt to sew. And I started making dance costumes and actually ended up with 2 dance schools. And I used to make costumes for, not costumes, the uniforms for 2 little athletics clubs. And that was fine until around about 2012, when you could buy costumes cheaper from China from what I could buy the fabric for.
yeah.
So I just got priced out,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with the Industrial Revolution,
Well, we're in the 4th one, right?
Sorry,
We're in the 4th one.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
That's
So
a
this
worry.
is what's happened now. We family business do in the steel industry, and the steel industry is like that.
Yeah.
It's all going to China or Vietnam
Yeah.
for steel.
Yeah.
It's starting to
Yeah.
same thing happening
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wasn't the only thing that went, with China. Yeah. I mean, because all the clothing disappeared. All our Australian-made clothing, went to China, India,
Yeah.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
and there used to be Surrey Hills used to be where all the rag trade, as they called it, was, and because the guys I used to get to service my sewing machines, because I had industrial sewing machines, they used to get up early in the morning, jump on a train, walk to Surrey Hills, spend the whole day, servicing machines and back on the train again. And then, first of all, it went up the coast, like that, the rag trade, as they call it, like all the, clothing manufacturing, and then it disappeared, And I mean, I'm wearing, probably everything I'm wearing was made in China.
Yeah, that's right.
Same with you.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. This one. I got given this one.
Unless it's a bit classier.
Yeah, I got given. I probably would have bought Chinese stuff too. It's cheaper.
Yeah. Well, you can't avoid it.
You can't. You can't.
No.
So you were saying too about I forgot to ask about your grandkids. How many grandkids you got?
I've just got one.
Oh, you just got one?
Yep.
Okay.
My daughter has one child. He's just 11, about to go to high school next year.
Oh, how's he going?
He's really good.
How's he going with it all? With his
With-
grandmother, your situation.
Oh.
How does he handle it?
Well, we had to tell him.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I see as much of him as I can. And, I'd love to see him, I'd love another decade just to see what he ends up doing. He's a very, very intelligent little fella. And, if he's really interested in something, he's really interested. He knows all about it. Like he Googles stuff, and he's been doing that for.
That's how they.
It's funny. I thought, how would we have done that? We would have had to have gone to the library at school, or looked it up in an encyclopedia or something. I mean, that's one.
Well, my grandfather was that person who taught you, just spoke and you read books.
Yeah.
He was the guy, the old man.
Yeah.
And then I remember a nursing home. I remember he asked, he was trying to talk about something. I think it was Napoleon. I remember looking it up.
Yeah.
Straight. He was trying to think of it, and I went, I showed him.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
it. It's like he's no longer
Yeah,
needed
the
in
font
that
of
knowledge.
knowledge, yeah,
He's not needed.
I think that's sad. Yeah,
It is sad because
Yeah.
these, your grandson's age. My son's 12. They come home and they know things. They're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to work out. That my grandson reads.
Okay, that's good.
He's got a huge library in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Which is one good thing.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
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 One day you can probably watch this.
See, I mean, this is what I've found hard with getting rid of stuff is books.
Mm.
Because, I mean, I've got, beautiful books, but I've got lots of paperbacks and they go, the pages go all yellow and brittle. All you can do is throw them out.
It's sad.
And I mean, we never threw a book at it. We never did.
That was the knowledge. That was the internet.
Yeah, because that's where everything was. So it's sort of, that's very sad.
Yeah, that is.
I think that
yeah.
books, although I must admit I've got an e-reader, but mainly because I'm a bit arthritic in my old age and it's much easier to hold, a little book.
Do you listen to books? Can you listen to books? Have you ever listened to
I
them?
am listening to one now. It's David Mitchell. Do you know him? He's a British comedian.
Okay. What's it about?
He's written a sort of semi-historical novel called Unruly, and it's a history of the kings and queens of England, or Great Britain, I suppose you'd call it. And I actually started reading the book, but, I mean, you'd have to know him. He's quite a character, and he's on a show called Would I Lie to You? And he often goes off on a big rant, a funny rant. But he's written the book like that. And I've found it really hard to read, but I've because I could hear him, but he'd go off on a tangent, and then you'd think, oh, okay, right, what were you talking about?
Yeah. On paper, it was different.
Yeah.
You need to hear it.
But that's the first time I've downloaded an audio book.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I like my e-reader though because I used to take that travelling and, instead of taking half a dozen books with you or even the Lonely Planet things, you just got them there in a little device. Yeah.
Yeah, when was the last time you travelled?
2016. Oh, yeah, out of Australia, 2016.
So obviously you couldn't travel any further than your house at the moment.
No, I've done a few. I've got a cousin who lives in Cairns. I've done a couple of visits there since then, but no, I can't travel now. I couldn't do it, with the bags and the whole bit. Anyway.
Yeah, well, how do you get your head around like this? How do you how do you get your head around? Obviously, going through the treatment.
Well, that was
given a time.
That wasn't pleasant, because it just dominated my life.
Do you reckon the chemo made it is the hard thing?
Oh yeah,
make it worse.
The drugs. You
said your hearing, your left side, and then it's
that's really the only symptom, an unsteadiness on my legs, is that I've got at the moment, but the chemo drugs and the immunotherapy, they just make you sick.
Well, if you didn't do that, she said you have seizures, right?
Yeah.
So that's the risk, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then do you reckon there was other treatments you can have?
No, when they say they're stopping all treatment.
Other treatment, but,
like
people go on a different,
Well, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
Once you get it, that's it.
I think, because the brain, all those other drugs I had, the chemo and the immunotherapy drugs, apparently the brain's got a blood sheath that stops those drugs getting in, which is why I ended up, that's where it ended up, the cancer. And I can't understand that because it doesn't stop other drugs from getting in, whatever this blood sheath is, like nasty drugs and that people take and, doesn't stop them, does it?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so why is it? Hang on, sorry, I've just got to...
No, that's all right. What do you need? That's all right.
This is one of my side effects of
That's all right.
I have a runny nose sometimes.
Oh, the weather's weird anyway. Woke up sneezing this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? Gone back to winter.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. Beautiful weather.
Yesterday.
The last beautiful weather. Weekends.
Yeah.
I just gone back to this,
Yeah. It was cold yesterday.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
It was Saturday night. Got a bit cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. But yeah.
Yeah.
So what? When my mum mentioned about this podcast, what you just said yes. When she told me, you said yes. I was like,
yeah.
What
Well,
made you
I was
think?
intrigued. Just intrigued.
good on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, like,
I mean, the good thing in having children and having one who's heavily IT. Well, two of them, but one of them,
Which one's into IT?
Number 3, Clive.
Okay.
Yeah. I have kept up with technology.
Yeah. You've done well.
Unlike, one of my sisters who I mean, you still ring them on a landline.
Oh, what with the cord? Probably the cord still attached.
Yeah, well, no, they've got a cordless.
Yeah.
But she asked me, what's this streaming business? And I said, well, you need a smart TV. She said, well, ours is smart, isn't it? I said, no, it's about 15 years old or something. And I said, well, and then the thought of, I've got an old telly too, an old, not quite that old, but I've got a Fire Stick in it. But to stream.
Oh.
The thought of trying to, her trying to manipulate, different remote controls and
I've got those still. I've got an old plasma.
Right.
So I'm holding off as much as I can.
Right.
Still going. Well, yeah, you need the media player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an extra thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've just got the Amazon Fire Stick in mine, and the big one in the lounge room's got an Apple box.
There's so many things now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not as basic.
Yeah.
But
so you need 2 remotes for that. But for mine, I just need the one. But it'd be too hard trying to get it. It's a pity.
Yeah, it is a pity
because there's so much interesting stuff
in life, living life.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the young generation is sort of logged into this thing a bit too much?
I don't know. They don't watch TV.
No, they're on the internet. They're on YouTube and it's good to get to see it. When I see kids out playing, it's great.
Yeah.
Like back in the 1960s,
Yeah.
Get some sun.
Well, that was that. The old saying they have. We used to have to be home before the street lights came on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. My dad said there used to be police.
We didn't even have daylight saving then either.
Oh. Well, you had police, didn't you, walking around the city to get inside, wasn't it? No?
No, we could do anything.
Yeah.
Like my old primary school had, I think it was its 90th birthday last November. And we were just, the family home was, probably 200 metres away. So I went to that and there was a bit of, there's a Facebook page and blah, 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 and there was a bit of discussion before it. And one of my friends, what we used to do sometimes is if we all live within walking distance of the school. We'd just go home for lunch.
That's the best.
Come back again. You know,
The best home cooked meal for lunch, mate.
and you know, and someone said, "Oh, did you need a note or anything?" No. You know,
Is that free?
yeah. We just go home for lunch, and our local shops were probably half a K away. And some kids used to go up there and buy fish and chips from the fish and chip shop for lunch. Same thing, you didn't tell any teachers, nobody went missing, nobody got hurt.
Teachers didn't care, or they didn't.
It just wasn't that, It wasn't that scary.
Well, what is it now? What is it?
Well, I
What's
don't
the
know why
difference?
it's got like
What's
that.
going crazy for?
You know,
You could. I used to come back. My dad used to whistle. We used to play at the back. There's a park there, and he used to just come home, and that was the whistle. We came in, had dinner. You know, that was that. There was no phone, nothing. It was.
No.
We knew we had to come out at a certain time.
Yeah.
Then they didn't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were gone missing for hours down the creek.
Yeah. Well, we used to do that too. We'd go for the whole day. It
was the best.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, but would you leave? This is the thing. I got kids. I'm like, how far? My kids are pretty, streetwise in a way, but to sort of.
Well, my grandson, he loves walking to school, and it's probably about 1.5 Ks, but it's lots of hills. He's got a smartwatch.
Yeah, the phone.
For I've forgotten what it's called, but it's one his parents control it.
Yep.
And so it's turned off while he's at school, and then it comes on again at 3.
To know where he is and that.
And so they can track him, or
360,
or if it's raining or something,
Okay.
But it's interesting because a couple of his friends, there's about 4 or 5 of them walk to and from school.
Yep.
And obviously he didn't, not when he was in kindy. He only started doing it last year. But there's a couple of kids whose parents are appalled, that
He's walking.
they let them walk to and from school.
How far's the walk?
About 1.5 Ks. But it's got hills.
Yeah.
It's not just straight. Yeah.
That's all right.
Well, I think it's 1.5. Oh, it's probably about 2 Ks. 1.5 to the shops. Yeah, it's probably about 2 Ks. But at least he's.
That's going to teach him when he works.
Yeah.
That to get to work.
Yeah.
You know, not to get dropped off. I should make my kids walk.
Sorry?
I should get my kids to walk, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make him.
Yeah.
Next term.
Yeah.
Hey? They don't walk to it.
You have to tell them now.
Yeah, I know.
You have to walk to school.
I sort of enjoy it. I don't live too far.
But bags are still heavy as they were when we were kids. I can't quite understand that.
Yeah, they still got books, or they got their laptop now.
Yes.
And they do carry a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
High school, they do. They got their books, but not as many. But they're just packed with other things.
Yeah. I don't know about high school, so I have to wait and see what happens there.
Oh well, yeah. I remember.
Got to get a laptop.
Yeah, you got a laptop now. Some technology. They all can access email. Like they can chat to each other in class.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
And the kids, the parents don't have
passing notes.
Yeah, and the teachers. Well, you respect the teachers, right? Now, I think the teachers can't do too much.
Oh no.
They even give kids passes to leave the class if they're a bit stressed, anxiety passes and that.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's how it's gone now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of you ringing up, I think it was like you get a call from school, the parents, you get in trouble. You get in trouble at school and in trouble at home now.
Yeah.
They ring up and make excuses that don't worry, it's all right, we're just trying to tell you, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And the parents now blame the school.
Yeah. Of course they do.
Yeah, he's probably upset because of this. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what would you say to people about like life, to enjoy every day, like to
Oh.
What have you learnt? What has come to you?
I'll tell you the big main thing: keep active. because it'll be in your favour,
Yep.
you know, no matter how long you live.
Yep.
Yeah, forgive people.
Mm.
You know, you have to forgive people.
Don't hold on to
That's
things.
it. Let a lot of things just wash over.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yeah, you do. You do. And even things like they took my licence away finally from me 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Because when you hit 75, you've got to have a medical. You've got to go to your GP and get a medical, you know, tick, 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 whatever. So I rocked up and she just said, no. She said, you're on, because I'm on a Valium drug and, you know, there's a few other things. She said,
Yeah.
just said,
So that's it now.
that's it.
You'll be driven
I've
everywhere.
now got an identity card.
Identity.
Yes, they're blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so is it Joe drives you around?
Well, Joan does drive me around, yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've still got a car.
Yeah.
So, you know, that gets used. And, yeah, there's a lot of people who've been really good.
Yeah,
to me.
good. No,
Yeah.
that's good. No, that's really nice.
Because it's been a year since I've driven, so, you know, I've just lost that spontaneity of you think, oh, yeah, I'll just go and do this.
Yeah.
You know, go and jump in your car and go and do whatever it was, you know.
Take that for granted,
That's
don't
gone,
we?
so,
But we all take that for granted too, don't we?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Take a lot of things for granted.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like you said, clutching on to things, attaching ourselves to things,
Yeah.
holding grudges.
yeah, yeah. And don't
You're gonna come back.
have too many possessions.
Too many possessions. So you're gonna come back and haunt people, or you know,
Nah,
where are you gonna? Where do you go, really?
I don't know. I don't think you go anywhere.
Mm.
You know, I think you just end up stardust. I'll tell you the nicest thing that happened, or one of the lovely things that happened. There's a group called Dreams to Live For, and that it's like the kids make a wish. So you've got to have stage 4 cancer, or you know, or something, you know, that's you're going to end your life soon. And so my palliative care doctor told me about this. So my daughter and I sort of thought, oh, yeah, we should go and do something as a family. So what we did was we booked a stargazing evening up at Wentworth Falls, because, you know, it's nice and clear up there and big view, with this astronomer. There are probably about 15 other people there, I think. We did that, but before we did it, because we had an Airbnb at Wentworth Falls, lovely, beautiful, lovely old house. So it was me, my 4 kids, my son-in-law, and my grandson. So there was 4. I can't count now. Six of us, yeah. Before we left to go on that, my kids presented me with this folder thing, you know, and like I opened it up, and they've had a star named in my name, which is Anne Cherie McGlynn. So there's a star in the Delphinus, what do you call it? You know, astrology thing, you know, I've forgotten the name.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I get it now.
You know.
The universe, no.
No, you know.
Galaxy.
You know, the shapes in the stars. Constellation.
Constellation. Got me.
Delphinus, yeah, I'm a bit...
That's right somewhere.
Delphinus, which means dolphin, because it's in the shape of a dolphin. And you can, obviously you can see it from here, from Australia. It's not a Northern Hemisphere one that you only see in the daytime. It's very close to Sagittarius, so it's easy to find. But it's also, I'm a Scorpio, it's just below Scorpio at the moment. So I have a star in my name, which I thought was sort of such a nice thing for
That's
my
beautiful.
grandson particularly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so nice.
yeah. So that was, yeah.
That's so nice. That's what I mean. Your grandson will always remember that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, he can always look up at the sky.
Well, there's the wisdom. You know, we were made of light and stars. You know.
Yeah, stardust.
So you're going back there.
Yeah, well, they reckon we are stardust.
We are.
Yeah, yeah.
Our body goes to the earth, and then we go to the stars.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah,
Well, that's nice.
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, I wish you like to enjoy the rest of your time and
Thank you.
reflect, and you know, and the energy I get from you, it's so happy, Nick, isn't it?
Oh,
Like I don't know, it's beautiful. It really is.
I'm glad.
Because I didn't know how this was going to go. It's such a nice conversation.
Yeah, thanks.
You lived
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
you've had a good life and
Yeah.
Obviously
I'll
so
be
much
the
more.
first to go in my family, though, so...
Yeah, and this is the thing.
Because
It's like
my oldest sister just turned 80 and my little brother just turned 70, so...
oh wow,
Yeah. There's two, one of us.
you don't speak, yeah. And those ones you speak to or you're close to, how are they?
Well, I speak to all of them, but
Yeah.
two of them are just difficult.
Okay.
They're just difficult people. One of them sort of, you can say the wrong thing without knowing you're saying the wrong thing, or look at her the wrong way, and she drinks a little bit, and I think she has
that's what it is. That's what it
few
is.
glasses at night, and then
Yeah.
decides something happened and when
Yeah.
it didn't, so you're sort of eggshells
Yeah.
around her a little
Alcohol
bit.
doesn't hurt. It doesn't help in that situation.
No. And the oldest one's a raging hypochondriac. She's got everything else. Like if I rang her up, right now, I'd get an earful of what's wrong with her, and she wouldn't ask me how
Oh,
I'm going.
really? Oh, yeah.
Not that I expect it, but it's just
yeah. All about her.
but different people.
Yeah, some people just care only for them, but it's not. It's just how they are.
Yeah.
There's one thing, like you can't change anyone. You just got to
No.
accept them. People have got to accept me too. I would have been hard to grow up with, maybe.
Yeah.
Albeit sometimes, I guess. But you just got to accept it
Yeah.
and just enjoy life, be happy.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't hold on to things, and
No.
be grateful, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is all what it is, isn't it? Yep.
What is like a survive? What's life surviving really?
Yeah.
It's like pain.
Yeah.
Everyone goes with pain. It's how to deal with pain.
Yeah.
And so, the journey you've taken and where you are now, really respect you, hold you high up,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
really, it's just one of those things, no one, I hope you go even next year,
Right, yeah.
Let's aim for next year, can we?
Yeah. I reckon I'll make Christmas.
Yeah.
Although it won't be at my house. It's always at my house. I won't be doing Christmas.
No.
We couldn't at the moment anyway. I've packed up so much stuff and,
Just a waiting game.
stuff and
It's a strange waiting game.
yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah. You can never to try and finalise things, whatever. It's just like you said, it is what it is. You just enjoy your time.
Yeah.
And whatever your siblings or your children or however they take it, that's up to them.
Yeah.
You know? It's not on you.
Yeah, no.
No. But you always be remembered.
Sorry?
You always be remembered, in the stars, and hopefully that's why doing this. It wasn't to get anything, it's just to give you some sort of platform as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's I just feel like I just get you in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's okay. Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
And
enjoyed this.
I'll keep in touch somehow.
Yeah.
My mum still sees you.
Yeah.
She's a lovely woman.
Yeah, she is. She is. Yeah, that blanket was wonderful.
Yeah.
It's been on my bed the last few nights because it was down the bottom. You know, I was just folding and I thought, nah.
I do that. She's made me one,
Yeah.
a manly one.
Yeah.
Different, manly colours in a way.
Yeah.
I bring that out too when it gets really cold.
Yeah.
Good
and,
old.
and it's nice in front of the telly too and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Anne.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And, we'll, I'll hopefully, I'll keep in touch.
I'd like you to
Yeah,
too because I might take you up on my youngest son.
Yeah, I think so. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no harm. What's it got to lose?
No, nothing.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So these things happen for the reasons.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. All right, that was beautiful.
Yeah.